Hi, I'm Ed Kelley, editor of the Oklahoman. Does Oklahoma City need a McDonald's in Bricktown? Or, more specifically, does Oklahoma City need a McDonald's that looks like a McDonald's in Bricktown? In essence, this issue pits perhaps the world's most famous brand against a group of property owners who, look to me, aren't about to buckle under to the world's most famous brand. Good for them because it's good for all of us. Mickey D's wants to build one of its restaurants on the east side of Bricktown. The company promises to be a good neighbor and says it'll fill a gap not served by enough affordable fast food joints in the neighborhood. I'd argue that in a city that has been given the dubious title of fast food capital of America, welcoming another fast food joint would not be a priority. But I digress. It's not just that McDonald's wants to open a spot in Bricktown, it's how it wants to open it. The company's throwing out a design that looks like a new McDonald's that's opening in Mustang, west of the city. To me, it looks like lots of other McDonald's, which is part of the problem with the Bricktown merchants. Hardly fits the brick motif of Bricktown, does it? Just as alarmingly, McDonald's wants to build a drive-through in an area that has a relatively high number of pedestrians. And that's where the brouhaha begins. The planners at City Hall say McDonald's needs to come back with a better design. Meantime, McDonald's tried to muscle the Bricktown Urban Design Committee, which didn't budge. Now McDonald's is clammed up, issuing happy-face statements through one of its agents in Dallas. Whether they'll be back or not remains to be seen. Here's what's true. McDonald's architectural design is not universal, and it has plenty of stores without a drive-through. My colleague Steve Lackmeyer has covered this entire fuss, and in doing so makes some salient points. McDonald's, Lackmeyer reports, has a track record of custom designing restaurants, from a couple in New York City, including Times Square, to all the way to a city in Iraq. Lackmeyer also notes there are McDonald's without drive-throughs, one of which is in the old Glass House on the Will Rogers Turnpike in northeastern Oklahoma. Perhaps the most convincing argument against a conventional McDonald's in Bricktown is the example right down the street, west on Reno. It's at Sonic, America's Drive-In. The corporate office for Sonic obviously matches the Bricktown motif. But more importantly, so does its Bricktown restaurant. When construction on it began, Sonic decided it would be completely different than any of its stores in the city area. It too is covered in brick, without a drive-in lane anywhere. And this is a restaurant chain built on drive-up service. Look, I'm for commercial development when appropriate. Bricktown needs more shops, more retail, maybe even more restaurants. McDonald's is a terrific business. But the folks in Bricktown, as well as at City Hall, are right to hold the line. It's not too much to insist that a McDonald's in Bricktown should look like and feel like the rest of Bricktown.